Hey, how's it going? My name is Mike Banks. I'm a real estate investor and I'm also a business credit expert here at Fund&Grow. And one question we get often is how do I find off market properties that I can buy with the business credit lines that I get from you guys at Fund&Grow? And that's a question we get a lot. Me and my partners are asked this question from clients. We get it on comments through the YouTube videos that we put out and emails. We hear this one a lot. So that's what we're going to be going over in today's video. Let's jump into it. What's up? It's Mike Banks with Fund and Growth. Even though they look at your personal credit, they don't report business credit lines onto your personal credit report. That's huge.
Fund and Grow, and they have literally helped thousands of our clients out there.
Having access to credit is kind of what motivated me to do that. It pushed me over that edge and said, stop, being hesitant, just do it, jump in. So
teamed up, and my wife and I were able to get access to right around $180,000.
Bottom line, right? What you do is your company goes out there and you basically line up funding for people.
These guys are experts in getting you business lines of credit at 0% interest.
It's our intention and our team's intention to help every single client that walks in the door with us to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding to help our families and communities grow by creating thriving, successful businesses.
all right, so let's figure out how to find investment properties. I've done it personally. I've found dozens of properties way below the market value. I'm talking 50% of the actual after repair value, or the ARV. And the way to do that is not to just go and look in the MLS. It's not to contact a real estate agent. You have to find these properties on your own. Most of the time, you're going direct to seller and you're contacting them through a variety of different means. It could be through direct mail. You could be sending out postcards, all the way up to a higher end marketing piece that you can send them through direct mail. And you can also cold call these people, these homeowners who might be looking to sell their house. And you are hopefully contacting them right at the right time before they go and decide to list it with a real estate agent, which is going to end up costing a lot more money that way. So this is the way that a lot of the wholesalers, a lot of the rental investors, the flippers out there, this is how they're finding the properties, or this is how the wholesale company is finding the property that the investor's buying from as a cash buyer. So I just real quickly wanted to go over this stuff. It's going to be a general overview. I'm not going to get too deep into the details. I'm just going to give you guys some ideas. And then on future videos, I'll dive deeper into each of the different marketing channels that you can go through. So right now on your screen, you're looking at the tax collector website. So one of the best ways that I've found to find discounted off-market properties is to literally just go to your county tax collector, and I'm just using Pasco County. That's one of the surrounding counties where I'm at. And so you go to the website, and this is where you can get the tax delinquent list. Now, this is one of, if not the best, distressed lists to use when you're trying to contact potential homeowners who might be looking to sell. Oftentimes, I find a lot of these properties are owned outright, and that's why they're going delinquent on their taxes, because they're not paying a mortgage, so they have to manually go in and pay the property tax. And so a lot of investors who have properties that are, let's say they're out-of-state owners, they end up becoming behind on their property taxes. And then also just some homeowners who live in the house that own the house outright for 10, 20, 30 years. A lot of times they can go, 4, 5, 6, sometimes even more than that, $1,000 behind in their taxes. So when they get your direct mail or when they get your cold call, they are in a good position usually to sell quickly because of the fact that they're behind on property taxes and they own the property outright. A lot of times they're looking to just sell the property quickly. So I've gone to the tax collector's website. I went and clicked up here, reports, and now I'm at this area here. And what I would choose to generate the tax delinquent list, and I've confirmed this, it's different with each county. You just always got to check with your tax collector or your municipality or the county. So in this case, you go to the tax collector's website, unpaid accounts, click run that report. And this is a free report. So you're learning right now how to get the tax delinquent list for free from your county. So I've clicked on run report. Now the next thing I have to do is come in here to tax year, because we don't want the current year or even the last year. we need to make sure it's 2+ years that they're behind on their taxes, on their property taxes, because you have 2 years before it's considered being delinquent, before it becomes, a heightened issue. So what you do is you put in the symbol less than or equal to 2018, which would be 2 years ago. So we want the properties that are less than or equal to 2018, which gives us 2 years and more in delinquent property taxes. So I've added that in there. Now I'll click Run Selected Report. And now this is going to generate all of the properties, all of the homeowners who are delinquent on their taxes. And then the next step would be to come over here and click the Excel button. Once that's done loading, I would click the Excel button over here. And now I can generate the Excel spreadsheet. And then what I would do with that is I would contact my virtual assistant. You can find a virtual assistant on Upwork.com. And what you'll do with this report is you'll have them sort the report based on, is it a single family home? Is it a vacant property or vacant land? Is it commercial? Or multifamily? So they can go through and they can sort this. And I've actually got a VA who can run a script so that he doesn't have to manually do it. He's created a program where he'll automatically be able to sort based on the code. There's like a use code or a property code on the Excel spreadsheet. So he can then separate each of those properties into separate lists. So I have one for single family, which is the main one I want. So then when I get the single family property list, the tax delinquent list, I would then go to a postcard company, and you can use any postcard company. The company I've used in the past is Modern Postcard, and I've actually got a special deal with them that I could possibly put that link in there so you guys get the same special deal. But yeah, then I would go here, contact them, send them the list, and then send them the postcard that you want to send out. Now, a lot of the wholesalers and investors out there are using basic postcards that just say something like, hey, I would like to buy your property, cash, no hassle, contact me if you're looking to sell, God bless. It's a real simple postcard, and you send that out, and I can include that in the description as well. And then you get that sent out. So that's one list, distressed list. Tax delinquent's been one of the best lists for me. Now, another way to do this is you can go to listsource.com and you can buy a list. The one I just showed you is totally free. Now, with ListSource, you can go and you can create a list based on all these different pieces of criteria, right? So I can go in and I can choose my county, choose my area, and all that good stuff. And then I can go to the, let me just go ahead and go through that real quick to show you guys how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my county. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose. My county is not Pasco, it's a surrounding county. Our office is actually in Hernando County, just outside of the Tampa Bay area. So I'm just going with this just to get it done. Okay. So I've chosen my county. Now you can narrow it down even further by zip code, which is something I would recommend doing. But for now, we're just going to leave it like that. And then we go to property. Okay. And then we're going to choose equity. So what we're doing here is we're trying to target the high equity, people who own their houses outright, right? So we're going to go for the people that own the property. In this case, you can do this a number of different ways, but for now, the way I want to do this is just put 100 to 100. So that means they own their property outright. They don't have a mortgage on it. All right. And then let's see, the next thing you want to do is property type. All right, now we're going to go ahead and choose. We're going to choose all of these different types of properties right here. We're going to keep it to residential, single family residential. That's what SFR stands for. So I've gotten duplex, triplex, townhouse, multifamily. And if you want mobile home, you can go with that. Some people don't. So now I've added those. So what I'm doing now is I'm choosing a bunch of criteria. I've chosen high equity. I've chosen the property type that I'm looking for. And the next thing I want to do is go to whether they are an owner occupied or absentee owned. Now, in this case, we're doing absentee owners with high equity. Why are we doing absentee owner? Because these are likely people who don't live in the house. They're out of state a lot of times, and it's a rental property for them, right? So in those cases, we know they own the property outright, and it's likely a rental property. And if you guys have done any deals in the past, you'll know a lot of the deals that you'll find are coming from landlords, people who have rental properties that 5 years have gone by, 10 years have gone by. They haven't maintained the property. They're tired of babysitting. They're tired of going through the whole process of, chasing down their tenant to collect rent checks. A lot of times these people are motivated to sell. So this is another good list that I've had some good success with. So absentee owned, and now you can see we've got a list of 11,000. So then I would just go ahead and purchase that list. That's one way to do it. Okay. Now that's the, like I said, high equity absentee owners. Now there's other lists that you can do. I'm just going through them really quickly. There's another one called the unknown equity list. And for whatever reason, that list produces. I've gotten deals off that list as well. Same process. Choose your geography, right? Okay. So you choose your geography, and then you go into where it says, let me just pick a zip code real quick. Okay, and we've got that out of the way. Now we can go here. So now we're going to go to equity again, right? And where it says unknown, that's what we're choosing, okay? Why are we doing this? Well, I learned this from one of the top real estate investing and wholesaling coaches in the country, and this list produces unknown equity. For whatever reason, it's unknown to the the tax collector or the state. So for whatever reason, those are potentially good deals. You generate that list the same way like I showed you before, and you send out direct mail. And also what you can do is you can cold call these lists. And cold calling is a really big thing that a lot of people are doing. And Mojo Dialer is a great tool to use if you're cold calling these distressed homeowner lists. You can take that Excel spreadsheet, load it right into the Mojo Dialer, and it'll call up to 3. It has a triple dialer. So you can call up to like 250 numbers per hour. And you just put the list in, you press go, and that's it. It automatically will continue to connect you with the next phone call. If you get a phone call, it'll stop dialing the other ones. If someone happened to pick up while you took this phone call, it'll send them a message and tell them that you'll call them right back. It's a really great tool to use. I know a lot of wholesalers are using that when they're doing cold calling. Cold calling is a big way to get deals because you're not spending the money on direct mail and you're getting to the homeowner through their phone while everyone else is trying to send them direct mail and then waiting for those callbacks to come in. You could proactively be calling out to these possibly distressed homeowners, and you can then get them on the phone and negotiate a price right then and there. So those are a few things. And then there's other things too. Driving for dollars. A lot of you have had to have heard of driving for dollars. And there's an app called the Deal Machine app. And the Deal Machine app is a great tool. What it does is while you're driving for dollars, you find a home that looks like a fixer-upper, the grass is high, the paint looks like crap, the roof needs to be replaced. Stop your car, get out your Deal Machine app. Now, if you don't have the Deal Machine app, you don't need it. You can just take the address down, find the homeowner's contact information. It's not a difficult thing to do. If you have the address, oftentimes you can find their info on the property appraiser website. If not, you can do what's called skip trace. And there's tons of companies out there that will skip trace the address for you, and then they'll give you the phone number of the homeowner if you can't find it online anywhere. That way you can call them, send them a letter, knock on the door, say, hey, I'm a cash buyer. I'm looking to buy this house. I close quickly. There's no closing costs for you, no real estate agent for you to worry about. And I'm interested in buying the house. And even if you don't have the cash on deck, you can still offer that, especially if you're going through the Fund and Grow process and you're getting access to business credit lines. Because if you do that, you are the cash buyer. You can send a wire transfer from the credit line to the title company and close as a cash buyer. And that's a great way to add more confidence to your offers as a wholesaler, as an investor. You're going and you're finding these fixer-upper properties. You're not going to be able to go to the bank and get a mortgage on it. And if you do that, you're not going to get a discounted price on it. So you need to be able to offer cash. Having access to business credit lines gives you that extra level of confidence to be able to offer them cash. And then you can go out and find a buyer, if you'd like to, find a cash buyer who's going to then take over that contract. If you decide that you don't want that deal, if you don't want to keep it, you can still make your assignment fee as a wholesaler. And Deal Machine, as you can see on the screen, is a great app. What this does is it allows you, while you're driving for dollars, it will allow you to take a picture of the house and then put the address in. It will automatically, with like one touch of a button, send out a piece of direct mail with the picture that you took on the postcard. It's a great way for a lot of people that are driving for dollars. I know quite a few investors who are doing multi-million dollars every year in wholesaling assignment fees, and their number one source is driving for dollars. So as you're going every day, every week, you're adding 20 plus properties to the app, and it puts them on a list. And so you send out that first piece of direct mail, and then you can resend to your whole list weeks or months down the road that you've generated, all those properties you've accumulated while you're driving for dollars. Another great way and a low-cost way to find distressed off-market properties that you can offer a cash price to and get at a deep discount. Like I said, I've gotten properties at 50% of the market value, the after repair value. And that's gold right there. If you know how to do that, if you have that ability, all you have to do is find some cash buyers in the area. They're easy to find. I'm going to make another video about that, how to find and build a cash buyers list. And if you have these cash buyers these are guys and girls that are looking to buy investment properties, like they need 3 properties right now. That's how these people's minds work. And they're looking to fix them up and flip them, or they need rental properties. So if you figure out how to find these off-market properties, whether you're trying to do this for yourself and being a real estate investor and do flips, or you're trying to be a wholesaler and line up these discounted properties so that you can hand them off to the end buyer, to the flipper, this is gold right here. So I've just gave you a few tips. There's other ways to do it too. You can go on Craigslist, for sale by owner. There's deals there. There's deals on Zillow. You can sort by for sale by owner. You can sort by a certain amount of days. You can also go after expired listings on Zillow. And going through the Fund&Grow process, getting access to business credit lines is going to allow you to have that extra level of confidence to make those cash offers and know that you can back them up and actually close on the deal. Not like most wholesalers out there, they're just saying, hey, I'm a cash buyer, but really they're not. What they are is a wholesaler with a cash buyer's list, a buyer's list of guys who want to buy properties. But if you have access to $50, $100, $250,000 in business credit lines, I'm telling you right now, it gives you another level of confidence knowing that you can actually be the cash buyer. And you could tell the seller, look, there's other wholesalers out there who are going to offer you the cash price, but they can't actually close on the deal. I can close on the deal. Being able to say that is going to go a long way when it comes to the amount of discount that you can get on these deals. And now once you've gotten to the point of actually negotiating with the seller, you've gotten a hold of them, you're negotiating a price, a cash price on the deal. A lot of times these people that you're going after, they've already gotten postcards. They've already been called. They've already gotten the door knocked. They've already been talking to other wholesalers, other investors. And what you want to do is find out if they've gotten any other offers. It's worked for me at least 5 times. Finding out what they've gotten an offer at and then negotiating from there and saying, look, they've already offered you 75. Okay, well, let me take a look and I'll see if I can match that or even maybe beat that offer, right? Because the idea here is to get the property under contract. You want the deal, right? And if you know that there's other people offering 65 for it, it's probably worth 65 to you. And you could still probably either wholesale it or do the rehab and fix it up and flip it. So it's always good to figure that out. I always want to find out if they've gotten any offers. And in fact, on the last deal I got for $70,000, they already had a $79,000 offer on it. But guess what? It was with a huge wholesaling company, right? And I've seen these big companies and a lot of wholesalers in general. What they'll do is they'll offer high, like that. That was kind of a high offer, $79,000. And then what they'll do is they'll give the seller the runaround for the month. And then right at the end of the month or the end of the 2 weeks, whatever the terms are of the contract, they'll say, hey, I'm sorry, seller, but I didn't realize how bad the roof was. I didn't realize how bad the interior was. It's going to cost me a lot more to rehab it. I'm going to have to cancel the contract, and I can't buy it for what we agreed. The price that we agreed to. I can't buy it for that. So now they've strung the seller along for 30 days, and guess what? Now they're canceling the contract, and they're trying to renegotiate the price. So I explain this to sellers. I say, look, my offer right now at 70,000 might be lower than the offer you got, but you're dealing with the end cash buyer. I want to buy the property. I want to fix it up and flip it myself. I don't want you to deal with this big, wholesale company who is known. And if you look up the reviews, you'll find it to back up what I'm saying. Just think about any of the bigger wholesaling companies out there and look up what I'm talking about on their BBB. And they'll cancel contracts. They'll string people along, and then they'll try to chip them down. Because after 30 days, now the seller feels like, oh, I've already invested this much time. All right, fine, I'll take the decrease in price. But with me, I tell people, I explain this to them and let them know that they're dealing with the cash buyer. And that right there changes everything for me. It's allowed me to get deals that others have already made offers on at a higher price. And one thing I'll say, there's a lot of coaches out there who, they'll basically tell you a good strategy is to offer whatever you got to offer, and then down the road, cancel the contract to renegotiate. And I don't like that. To me, that isn't ethical. I don't do that. I don't think it's a good thing to do. If every single contract that I've gotten signed, I bought at that price. I never canceled and chipped them down at the end to try to make a few extra thousand. I find that kind of unethical. So what I would do is I would explain to people that there are wholesalers that are going to do this, but with me, that's not going to happen. So my price might be lower, but you have this. At least you have the peace of mind knowing that I'm the end cash buyer and I'm going to buy it for what I say I'm going to. Whereas others, they might not. They might not find a buyer at that high price, and they might have to cancel it on you. So that's one thing, one little tip, and one thing that I've done that's worked for me. So this is just a quick overview of how to find off-market properties and kind of how to negotiate with sellers and get it at a good price. I'm going to go into more details on other videos about, how to find cash buyers, how to run comps on the property, how to make an offer on the property that makes sense. And then, after watching these videos, you'll be able to go out there and get properties at a wholesale rate. And I'm talking like 50% of the after repair value. I'm not talking close to retail. I'm talking like 100,000 less than what it's worth, so that you can easily hand it off to another cash buyer, and so that you can easily spend 40,000 on the property, rehab it, and still make 40 or 50,000 on it. That's gold right there. If you can do that, you'll never need to work again. You'll never need to worry about money again. I've seen so many people get into real estate. I think they say 80% of millionaires all gain their wealth through real estate. So we're going to do some more videos about off-market properties, real estate investments, and literally just how to make money with real estate. And the cool thing is, because you're watching all this on the Fund&Grow channel, you'll also get access to business credit lines. And that type of information right there will allow you to become the cash buyer. I just interviewed a client. We'll put the link to the video up on the video right now, so that you can go and watch that interview where I interviewed a client who closed 6 cash deals. 6 cash deals, all funded with his business credit lines. So go and check that video out. I hope you enjoyed this one. We're going to make a few more, like I said. But until then, this is Mike Banks. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Oh, don't forget, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot so that we can continue to put these videos out and continue to grow our channel. So I really do appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your day.